The assassination of Kim Jong Nam, the eldest son of North Korean leader Kim Il-sung and half-brother of Kim Jong-un, was a shocking and tragic event, sent shockwaves through the global community. On February 13, 2017, Kim Jong Nam was fatally poisoned at Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia, sparking an international uproar and raising questions about the motives and reach of the North Korean government. While the assassination was initially attributed to two women who used a nerve agent to assassinate Kim Jong Nam, the incident quickly became a global mystery with allegations of a larger conspiracy involving the North Korean state. This video delves into the life and death of Kim Jong Nam, exploring who he was, the circumstances surrounding his assassination, the political context within North Korea, and the lasting impact of this incident. Kim Jong Nam was a figure shrouded in mystery, a member of the Kim dynasty who lived a life of privilege and then exile, constantly in the shadow of his powerful family. While he was born into the highest echelons of North Korean society, his life took a dramatic turn as he fell out of favor with his father and became a vocal critic of the regime. Understanding his life and experiences provides valuable insight into the dynamics and complexities of North Korean politics. Kim Jong Nam was born in 1971 to Kim Il-sung, founder of North Korea and the country's first leader. His mother was Song Hae-rim, who was said to be a favored mistress, Kim Il-sung. Unlike his younger brother, Kim Jong-un, who was born to Ko Yong-hui, Kim Il-sung's third wife, Kim Jong Nam, was raised in a relatively privileged environment, but one subject to the criticisms of Kim dynasty. From a young age, Kim Jong Nam received an elite education and was groomed for a leadership role within North Korea. He was rumored to have received education abroad, possibly in Switzerland, which gave him exposure to the outside world and a glimpse into a different lifestyle than that enforced by his father's regime. While his upbringing was marked by privilege, the weight of the Kim dynasty's expectations also burdened him. Kim Jong Nam's relationship with his father, Kim Il-sung, was initially close but is believed to have deteriorated over time. His father, a strict and controlling leader, was said to be disappointed by Kim Jong Nam's perceived playboy lifestyle and lack of serious interest in politics. There were also reports that Kim Jong Nam was critical of the North Korean regime's policies, which further strained his relationship with his father. During the 1990s, Kim Jong Nam was considered a possible successor to his father. Sources speculate that this was part of Kim Il-sung's strategy to secure a smooth transition of power. Still, Kim Jong Nam's perceived lack of seriousness and ambition likely contributed to his eventual fall from grace. Kim Jong Nam was largely kept out of the public spotlight. His existence and activities were mainly unknown to the outside world, reflecting the secretive nature of the North Korean regime. The government largely controlled his public life, and his personal life was shielded from public scrutiny. Following his father's death in 1994, Kim Jong Nam's relationship with the Kim dynasty continued to decline as his father's successor, Kim Jong-il, favored his younger brother, Kim Jong-un, as the next leader. Kim Jong Nam was reportedly sent into exile, first to Macau and later to other locations, effectively severed from his family and the inner workings of the North Korean regime. His exile was difficult for Kim Jong Nam. Despite his privileged upbringing, he was cut off from his homeland and family. He was reportedly given a house in Macau and a monthly allowance from North Korean authorities, but he was not permitted to return to North Korea. While in exile, Kim Jong Nam was critical of the North Korean government. He was interviewed by several international media outlets, where he voiced his opposition to the regime's policies and criticized the Kim family's leadership. Complex relationship. The relationship between Kim Jong Nam and his brother, Kim Jong-un, remained complex and unclear. Some sources suggest that Kim Jong Nam tried to maintain a low profile, fearing for his safety, while others believe he attempted to leverage his position and criticize the regime, which may have led to the tensions that ultimately fueled the assassination plot. Kim Jong Nam's assassination was not an isolated incident, but a culmination of political factors that contributed to a climate of danger and instability in North Korea. It was a shocking act of violence that exposed the regime's brutality and the lengths it would go to silence its critic. On February 13, 2017, Kim Jong Nam was fatally poisoned while waiting at Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia. Two women, identified as Siti Aisyah from Indonesia and Doan Thi Huong from Vietnam, were arrested for applying a nerve agent, VX, to Kim Jong Nam's face, ultimately leading to his death. The two women initially claimed they were unaware that they were participating in an assassination. Still, they later alleged that North Korean agents tricked them into believing the act was a harmless prank. February 13, 2017. Kim Jong Nam is poisoned at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. February 13, 2017. Two women, Siti Aisyah and Doan Thi Huong, are arrested. February 14, 2017. Malaysian authorities confirm Kim Jong Nam's death. February 15, 2017. Malaysian police identified the nerve agent used as VX. March 1, 2017. North Korea denies involvement in the assassination. March 13, 2017. Malaysian authorities release CCTV footage of the attack. Suspects and accusations. While the two women, Siti Aisyah and Doan Thi Huong, were initially arrested and charged with the murder, the investigation quickly extended beyond their alleged involvement, with fingers pointing toward the North Korean government. North Korean agents. A series of investigations revealed a connection between the two women and North Korean agents, precisely 4 North Korean citizens who fled Malaysia following the assassination. The North Korean state, the evidence gathered, and the witness accounts implicate the North Korean regime in the planning and execution of Kim Jong Nam's assassination. The use of a deadly nerve agent, a highly sophisticated weapon, and the meticulous planning and execution of the attack point toward the involvement of a state-sponsored organization. The assassination of Kim Jong Nam sparked international outrage, with many countries condemning North Korea's actions and expressing concerns about the implications for global security. The assassination was a bold act of violence on foreign soil, which further isolated North Korea from the international community. The United Nations Security Council condemned the assassination and called for a thorough investigation into the event. Malaysian authorities denounced North Korea and sought extradition of North Korean officials suspected of involvement in the assassination. The South Korean government called the assassination a heinous act of state terrorism and condemned the North Korean regime's actions. Kim Jong Nam's assassination was not an isolated incident. It was a reflection of the power dynamics within North Korea and the dangers of challenging the authority of the Kim dynasty. Exploring his story provides vital insights into the country's internal politics, its history, and the legacy of its leadership. North Korea's political system is characterized by its strict authoritarianism and single-party rule, with the Workers' Party of Korea, WPK, holding absolute power. The Kim family, effectively a dynasty, has ruled North Korea for 3 generations, with Kim Il-sung, his son Kim Jong-il, and now Kim Jong-un, exercising absolute power through the WPK and the Kim dynasty's control over the military, security forces, and state media. The Kim dynasty has established a hereditary succession system where power is passed down from father to son, similar to a monarchy. This system has ensured the continued control of the family over the country, and the Kim family has maintained a firm grip over all aspects of power. The North Korean government employs strict surveillance, propaganda, and censorship to prevent any form of dissent or opposition. The regime's control over information, media, and public discourse ensures it maintains a firm grip on the population and prevents any challenge to the Kim family's authority. The Kim dynasty has ruled North Korea since its founding in 1948. Since then, the Kim family has exercised control over all aspects of government, including the economy, military, and social life. This historical context is essential for understanding the events that led to founded North Korea, established Juche ideology, initiated nuclear weapons program, Despite living in exile, Kim Jong Nam's story highlights the potential dangers of challenging the Kim family's authority and the lengths the regime will go to silence its opposition. His criticisms of the government and his perceived threat, even from abroad, were arguably the driving forces behind his assassination. Potential threat. While Kim Jong Nam was not actively involved in North Korean politics, his legacy suggests that the Kim regime viewed even the most distant potential threats regardless of their actual influence. Extreme caution and ruthlessness. Impact on succession. Kim Jong Nam's assassination was seen by some as a continuation of the regime's efforts to eliminate any potential challengers to Kim Jong-un's leadership. His death reinforced the regime's message that any form of dissent would be met with harsh consequences. The assassination also demonstrated the regime's willingness to target its critics on foreign soil, raising concerns about the potential for future acts of violence. The circumstances surrounding Kim Jong Nam's assassination were shrouded in mystery. A lack of clear evidence and the secretive nature of the North Korean regime fueled conspiracy theories and speculation. The motive behind Kim Jong Nam's assassination remains a subject of debate. While the North Korean regime officially denied involvement and claimed that Kim Jong Nam's death was a tragic accident, evidence strongly suggests that the assassination was carried out by North Korean agents acting on the regime's orders. One prominent theory suggests that Kim Jong Nam's assassination was designed to silence a potential challenger to Kim Jong-un's leadership. Some have speculated that the regime feared that Kim Jong Nam might reveal sensitive information about the inner workings of the North Korean government, particularly about the Kim family's personal life and power struggles. Other theories suggest that the assassination was a message to potential dissidents within North Korea and abroad, demonstrating the regime's willingness to use violence to silence its critics. Although the suspicion initially focused on the North Korean government's involvement, some have alleged the possibility of external parties, including other countries or intelligence agencies, playing a role. These theories, however, lack credible evidence and remain highly speculative. Some South Korean political and media outlets have suggested the possibility of South Korea's involvement in the assassination, alleging that the South Korean government might have seen Kim Jong Nam as a valuable asset in destabilizing the North Korean regime. Other conspiracy theories have implicated China and other countries with interests in the Korean peninsula. However, these theories are not supported by any concrete evidence. Discrepancies in official reports. The discrepancy between the official accounts of the incident provided by North Korea and Malaysia added fuel to the conspiracy theories surrounding Kim Jong Nam's assassination. The lack of transparency in North Korea's government and its track record of secrecy further fueled speculation about the hidden truth behind the assassination. You are watching a video on the channel Biography Journey. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel so we can reach 100,000 subscribers soon. Thank you very much. Despite mounting evidence, North Korea consistently denied involvement in the assassination and attributed it to a tragic accident, offering no credible explanation for the use of a potent nerve agent. The Malaysian authorities, while initially reluctant to directly accuse North Korea, found sufficient evidence to prosecute the two women who were arrested and to criticize North Korea for its involvement in the crime publicly. Kim Jong Nam, a tale of exile and danger in the shadow of North Korea. Kim Jong Nam's life was a stark example of the harsh realities of power and politics within North Korea. His story epitomized the dangers of defying the Kim dynasty's authority, the unpredictable nature of life within the regime, and the far-reaching consequences of dissent. Kim Jong Nam's exile from North Korea was the result of several factors, including his perceived lack of seriousness, his criticism of the regime, and the Kim dynasty's internal power struggles. Kim Il-sung was said to be disappointed by Kim Jong Nam's perceived lack of seriousness and dedication to politics. He was reportedly critical of his son's spending habits and his interest in Western culture. Disagreements with the regime. Kim Jong Nam was known to have expressed criticism of the North Korean regime's policies, including its economic policies and its secretive nature. Kim Jong Nam's exile was also likely influenced by the Kim dynasty's internal power struggles. Kim Jong-il, Kim Il-sung's successor, favored his younger son, Kim Jong-un, as the potential heir, leaving Kim Jong Nam sidelined. During his exile, Kim Jong Nam lived relatively quietly in Macau and other locations. He was reportedly given a house and a monthly allowance by North Korean authorities, but he was not permitted to return to North Korea. While he was generally free to move about, Kim Jong Nam's movements were closely monitored, and he was not allowed to travel freely without the approval of his North Korean handlers. Kim Jong Nam's contact with his family was limited. He was not allowed to visit his siblings or other family members in North Korea, and his communication was also heavily restricted. Kim Jong Nam knew the dangers of challenging the Kim family's authority. The outspoken criticisms of the regime made him a target, and he lived under constant threat. Kim Jong Nam was under continuous surveillance by North Korean agents. He was constantly monitored, and his movements and communications were closely tracked. Kim Jong Nam was well aware of the regime's capacity and history of silencing its opponents. He lived with a constant fear of assassination, especially after his half-brother, Kim Jong-un, rose to power. Kim Jong Nam's exile left him isolated and vulnerable. He had limited support and could not rely on the protection that might have been available if he had remained in North Korea. The investigation into Kim Jong Nam's assassination was challenging, given the involvement of a secretive regime and the complex geopolitical landscape surrounding North Korea. Despite setbacks and delays, the investigation revealed critical information about the extent of North Korea's involvement. Ongoing investigations. Following the assassination, the Malaysian authorities conducted a thorough investigation, gathering evidence, conducting witness interviews, and working with international partners. The Malaysian authorities conducted a forensic analysis of the crime scene and the nerve agent used in the assassination, providing strong evidence of the North Korean state's involvement. Witnesses at the airport provided accounts of the events leading up to the assassination, including the actions of the two women and their alleged interaction with North Korean officials. Malaysian authorities collaborated with Interpol and other international law enforcement agencies to gather information and track down North Korean officials suspected of involvement. The investigations revealed crucial evidence linking the assassination to North Korean agents and the regime itself. CCTV footage captured at the airport provided vital evidence of the women's actions and showed their interactions with North Korean officials before and after the assassination. Analysis of mobile phone records revealed a network of connections between the women and North Korean officials, further linking the suspects to the North Korean government. Forensic analysis confirmed that the nerve agent used in the attack was VX, a highly potent weapon typically used by militaries and states. The Malaysian authorities arrested and charged two women, Siti Aisyah and Doan Thi Huang, with the murder of Kim Jong Nam. The legal proceedings were complex, involving international diplomatic tensions and legal challenges. The trials dragged on for months, with prosecution and defense teams presenting their arguments and witness testimony. The trial was heavily politicized, with the two women's lawyers arguing that they were manipulated by North Korean agents and had no knowledge of the true nature of their actions. In 2019, Siti Aisyah and Doan Thi Huang were acquitted of murder charges by a Malaysian court. The court ruled that the prosecution did not prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they intentionally killed Kim Jong Nam. The verdict, while raising questions about the fairness of the trial, provided some closure to the case. Kim Jong Nam's assassination had a lasting impact on North Korean politics, sending a powerful message of intimidation and highlighting the regime's ruthless pursuit of control. His legacy continues to resonate within the country and with the global community. Kim Jong Nam's assassination had a substantial impact on North Korea's national security policies, reinforcing the regime's focus on control and surveillance. The assassination sparked a crackdown on dissidents and potential threats within North Korea, with the regime increasing surveillance, censorship, and control over the population. The assassination led to further international isolation of North Korea, with the global community denouncing the regime's actions and growing sanction. While Kim Jong Nam was not a serious contender for the leadership, his assassination had indirect implications for the succession of power within the Kim dynasty. The assassination demonstrated Kim Jong-un's willingness to eliminate any potential challengers, even those residing outside the country, and served as a warning to any other possible opponents. Consolidation of power. By successfully targeting Kim Jong Nam, Kim Jong-un consolidated his control over the regime. Kim Jong Nam's story has captured the attention of the global community, raising awareness about the repressive nature of the North Korean regime. Kim Jong Nam's life and death made him a symbol of defiance against the Kim family's authority, with many viewing him as a victim of the regime's tyranny. His assassination contributed to the growing body of evidence exposing the regime's cruelty and brutality, further damaging North Korea's international reputation. Kim Jong Nam's life was a story of contrasts, a tale of a man born into privilege and then forced into exile, burdened by the legacy of his family, and ultimately targeted by the regime he sought to criticize. This journey provides a chilling insight into the reality of life within the shadows of the Kim dynasty. Kim Jong Nam's transition from a life of privilege to exile was a stark change. He went from being a recognized member of the Kim family and heir to a potential leadership role to a figure ostracized and silenced by the regime. Loss of status and power. His exile deprived him of his former status and power within North Korea, effectively severing him from his homeland and his family. He was separated from his family, including his siblings and other relatives, and unable to return to the country he once called home. Kim Jong Nam was forced to adjust, navigating a different culture, language, and lifestyle than he had known in North Korea. While Kim Jong Nam's exile gave him a glimmer of freedom, his life was still marked by challenges and limitations. He was constantly monitored by North Korean agents, his movements restricted, and his communication with the outside world controlled by the regime. Despite his privileged upbringing, Kim Jong Nam faced financial constraints in exile. His dependence on the regime for financial support limited his ability to live independently. The trauma of exile and the constant threats to his safety undoubtedly took a psychological toll on Kim Jong Nam, as he struggled to adjust to life in a foreign country, while living under the constant threat of the North Korean government. The nature of Kim Jong Nam's relationship with his family members, particularly his brother, Kim Jong-un, remains unclear and likely complex. Separation from his family, including his siblings and other relatives, and the restrictions placed on his communications created a distance between him and them. Kim Jong Nam likely felt resentful towards his brother, Kim Jong-un, for the power struggle that led to his exile and the possible threat he faced under his brother's leadership. Kim Jong Nam's forced exile understandably strained his relationship with his family members, who were forced to choose between loyalties to the regime and their ties to him. Beyond the headlines and the political intrigue surrounding his life and death, Kim Jong Nam emerges as a complex individual with his own story, interests, and aspirations. Exploring his personal life and hidden truths reveals a different side to the man who became synonymous with the Kim dynasty's reach and ruthlessness. While the public perception of Kim Jong Nam was primarily shaped by his association with the Kim dynasty and the political controversies surrounding his life, he was also a man who had his own interests and passions. Kim Jong Nam was reportedly a tech enthusiast, particularly interested in computers and gaming. He is said to have enjoyed spending time in internet cafes and exploring the digital world. Despite his restrictions, Kim Jong Nam has enjoyed traveling and has visited several countries, including China, Macau, and Southeast Asia. He reportedly enjoyed experiencing different cultures and exploring new places. While his relationship with his family, especially his brother Kim Jong-un, was strained, Kim Jong Nam had a close relationship with his son, Im Han-sol, who became a vocal critic of the North Korean regime. Kim Jong Nam's life was shrouded in secrecy, leaving many questions unanswered. While his public persona was constructed by the regime and the narratives surrounding his political involvement, some stories and secrets were not revealed during his lifetime or in the aftermath of his assassination. Some sources speculate that Kim Jong Nam might have been involved in secret dealings with other countries or international organizations, possibly to challenge the regime or leverage his position for personal gain. While he was portrayed as a playboy and a party animal, some sources believe that Kim Jong Nam might have harbored ambitions to play a role in North Korean politics, possibly even seeking to challenge his brother's rule. Despite the investigations and the release of a documentary, there are still many unanswered questions about Kim Jong Nam's life and death, including the full extent of his involvement with the North Korean regime, his motivations for criticizing the government, and the details of his assassination. Beyond his association with the Kim dynasty and the political controversies that defined his latter years, Kim Jong Nam's story resonates with the human desire for freedom and the dangers of challenging robust regimes. Kim Jong Nam has become a symbol of dissent, representing the struggle of those who dare to challenge the authority of repressive regimes. His life and death serve as a reminder of the human cost of power struggles and the lengths to which authoritarian regimes will go to silence their critics. While his story is a tragic one, it serves as a call for justice and accountability for the actions of the North Korean regime. You are watching a video on the channel Biography Journey. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel so we can reach 100,000 subscribers soon. Thank you very much. The assassination of Kim Jong Nam was a shocking event that exposed the brutality of the North Korean regime and sent a powerful message of intimidation, not only within North Korea, but also to the international community. His story is a chilling reminder of the dangers of challenging the authority of a repressive government and the lengths to which regimes will go to silence their opponent. Kim Jong Nam's legacy is complex, marked by his privileged birth, his fall from grace, and his assassination under suspicious circumstances. While his life was overshadowed by the political turmoil of the Kim dynasty, his story serves as a reminder of the human cost of power struggles and the importance of holding authoritarian regimes accountable for their actions. The events surrounding Kim Jong Nam's assassination continue to resonate with the global community, highlighting the ongoing human rights challenges in North Korea, the dangers of challenging autocratic regimes, and the need for continued vigilance in exposing the regime's violations. Kim Jong Nam's story is not just a tale of a tragic death, but a reminder of the fight for freedom, justice, and accountability in the face of oppression.